Welcome to the Instagram Stories for Monday, May 12th. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. On Mondays, we talk about what the head of Instagram shared on his Ask Me Anything. And today we'll be hearing answers to the questions like, how many stories should I post per day? And does posting Reels daily increase engagement or decrease engagement? Additionally, we'll talk about notes and whether or not they are gone. Hint, they're gone from some places. And also you'll hear a review that someone left me for this show, which I find very encouraging. All of that and more on today's episode, but first, here's a quick word from our sponsors. Welcome back. I recently got a new review of this show. It is very rare that I get reviews, but when I get them, they're so encouraging because it reminds me that people are in fact listening. They appreciate the hard work that I put into creating these episodes, finding the content that I think you would benefit most from, and also giving it to you in a very short amount of time so you can get the pieces you need and get on with your day. Here's the review that I recently received.
If you're into Instagram or TikTok marketing, this podcast is a gem. The Instagram Stories social media news by Daniel Hill gives you quick daily updates on what's actually happening inside the platforms, including clips from Instagram execs like Adam Mosseri. Super short episodes, straight to the point, and perfect for busy marketers. Daniel keeps it real and makes it easy to stay ahead without spending hours scrolling. Definitely worth adding to your daily lineup if you want to keep your content and strategy fresh.
Love that review so much. Thank you to Precarious777 for writing and posting it. Okay, next, let's dive into the questions and answers from the head of Instagram on his recent Ask Me Anything. And let's start with all the questions that have to do with reach and engagement. The first question, are photos reaching less people than Reels on purpose so we post more videos? This is a really good question. I'm going to let Adam answer, and then I'll give my take.
No, we don't have anything against photos, though I know a lot of people think we do. What happens is we try to show people things that they're interested in, and our best way of understanding what people are interested in is what they interact with. And people tend to interact more with Reels than they do with photos because they're more engaging. We've tried to allow photos to become more engaging by adding carousels and music to photos. For some people, they actually find way more success with photos than with videos. But for most people, they find more success with video. And that's just because video tends to engage people more. We do want to be a place for both. Our hope is that we can be the most flexible place for creatives to tell their stories. But at some point, it's hard for us to work against what people seem to be interested in. So on average, yes, videos do better than photos.
I think that's a great answer. I would explain it a little bit more concisely. I would say, how much time are people spending? If it's a photo, how much time do they spend looking at that photo? If it's a video, how much time do they spend watching that video? Chances are, if it's a photo, they're spending just a couple of seconds, maybe a few seconds. But if it's a video, they're going to watch at least a few seconds, if not many seconds, of that video to see, are they interested in it? And if they are interested in it, they'll probably watch the whole video, which is going to take much longer than the time that they would spend on a photo. Of course, like Adam said, adding music to a photo will help. People will spend more time on that photo if they hear music. If you create a carousel with multiple slides, people will spend more time looking at multiple photos than if there was only one photo for them to look at. But at the end of the day, the real thing you want to focus on here is how much time people are spending with that content. Okay, let's go on to the next question. Posting Reels daily decreases Reels and engagement? This person seems to be indicating that when they post every day, they're getting less engagement on their content.
No, that's not the case. For some people, they find a lot of success posting every day or even multiple times a day. Other people find a lot of success posting only once or twice a month. You got to figure out what resonates with your audience, what makes sense for your strategy. What do you want out of Instagram? How can you achieve that goal and also do so in a way that resonates with an audience? It might be frequent posting or it might be very infrequent.
Let's go on to the next question about reach. Do I need to use trending audio to get more reach on Reels? I would say the answer to that is no, but it can help.
You don't need to, no. I think that if an audio is trending, there's probably a reason for it. So there might be something fun and interesting to do with it, but it's not required to get a lot of reach. Absolutely not.
And the last question we're going to do about reach. How can I remove any shadow ban on my account? Return my account with high reach and views. This is something I think we all can relate to on some level.
If you have an issue with your account, you should be able to see that in account status. So go to your profile, settings, account status, and you can see, is your account not recommendable? And if that's the case, why? That'll mean that your account doesn't show up for people who don't follow you, or rather your account doesn't. Or if you have any content that was taken down, that could affect your reach, and you can see that, and you can appeal any decisions or try to address any of those issues there. So please check out account status.
Okay, we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about how many stories you should post per day and some updates to the Edits app that are coming very soon. Stick around. Welcome back. We're discussing questions and answers from the head of Instagram's recent Ask Me Anything. And the question, is there an ideal number of stories to post in a day? I would answer that question by saying as few stories as possible, because you want people to watch your story and see what it is that you shared, but if they drop off after 2 or 3 stories, it's probably too many.
There's not a specific ideal number. Feel free to post as many as you like. Right now, we are still working on making sure that we don't undervalue stories if you post a ton. So you do get a little less reach if you post more than, call it 4 or 5, but we're working to fix that. So hopefully that's just temporary.
Okay, let's go on to the questions that have to do with features of Instagram. The question, are notes gone?
Notes in the inbox are still there, so you can still add a note and anyone can reply to it who has access to it, so people who you said access to. But notes on content notes, we have moved away from, we've removed because they weren't being used very much and we wanted to keep Instagram more simple.
The next question, how do I know if someone tried to do a collab post with me? Well, you'll get a notification that someone added you to a post as a collaborator. That would be different from a tag. If someone adds you as a collaborator, that post will show in both of your feeds. If you are tagged in a photo or a video, that's just a notification and it will appear on your tagged tab, but not on your feed.
If someone adds you as a collaborator to a post, you're going to get a notification. If you have a thread with them, because you follow them, you'll see that actually in your inbox, in your thread with them. So you can always check there and accept it if you like.
Okay, this one is a feature request. Search option for saved collections, please. The person put a bunch of E's. This is an interesting idea because there's no way for you to search the collections that you make right now. When you save a post on Instagram, you can make a collection, you can group those collections, but you can't search the posts that are in those collections. This is very annoying. I actually don't think this is the most important feature that Instagram needs. I think playlists are actually more important, but here's Adam's answer to the question about a search option for saved collections.
I actually got this request recently, the ability to search your collections. Now, a lot of people don't have any collections, but some of us, like me, have a lot. So I save a lot of things and I organize them into collections. So yes, it would be good to allow people to search their own collections. That's a good idea. I'll talk to the team. But given how few of us have lots of collections, I don't know that we can prioritize it right away. So I want to be clear about that, but I like the idea.
Well, sounds like he's going to add it to the product backlog. Okay, let's move on to the questions about edits and new features that are coming to edits. Are keyframes going to be available in edits soon? If you're not familiar, keyframes are where you add specific points that you want editing effects or other things to happen in the video. That specific moment is called a keyframe.
Yes, keyframes are one of the key features that Edits is currently missing, and we're working on it, so they will be in the app soon.
And the last question we're going to talk about today, can you add more transitions to edits?
We're working on it. Lots of new fonts and other tools added just this week. We're going to be trying to improve it every week, so keep the asks coming.
Okay, that's it from the clips from Adam Mosseri. I am going to talk about these clips on the Wednesday Waffle. On Wednesdays, after the end music, I talk about another topic that may or may not be social media related. And I want to talk about these Ask Me Anything. So be sure to come back on Wednesday for that. As always, thank you so much for listening.
Let me tell you a couple things that you should know about me. A product manager, but do not have a bachelor's degree. But actually, that's factually a fraction of me. And other fractions posting content irregular and irrationally. Still probably won't get a job at the Gram. They forgot, they don't know, or don't care who I am. That's why you never see me at the parties and events. My lack of followers must make me irrelevant. Don't have a course of book to sell to make a bag of grand. Not a social media marketer, don't represent any brands. Plain to see, don't have an agency, but I got a lot of spam. Just putting in my work, without the glitz and glam. Won't catch me eating fish, unless it's shrimp or clam. No six pack, no risk that, there's a gym card in my hand. Don't have a full-time job, but I got a lot of plans. Stay plotting, dropping knowledge on TikTok and Instagram.